Prescott Badger football is on the air. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Olson's for healthy animals where good enough just isn't. Line Brothers with premier window treatments in northern Arizona. Prescott True Value on Miller Valley Road, so much more than a hardware store. The Prescott Unified School District, the Badgers' biggest fans, every child, every day. Prescott Badger football is also brought to you by Exceptional Community Hospital, Prescott's newest state-of-the-art hospital and 24/7 emergency services. Yavapai Exceptional Industries, serving adults with disabilities since 1974. And now with the call of tonight's game, here's John Rust.
The football team needs something uplifting. And what could be more uplifting than homecoming? Tonight, the Badgers take on longtime inter-county rival Mingus. The Marauders, naturally, will try to do everything they can to spoil Prescott's homecoming and in the process, get their first win of the season. How will homecoming 2025 turn out for Prescott High School? We'll find out soon. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Prescott High School. John Rust, Lou Benetone with you as we get set for a homecoming 2025. And, Coach, after last week's game, like I said, Prescott definitely needs something uplifting. And, talking to some of the coaches and especially talking to the players, some of the players were telling me that all last week's practices, they just didn't seem really up for that week's game. Everything just kind of seemed off, and that really proved itself last week. This week, Coach, I think maybe reality falling on the Badgers like it did last week. I would imagine that practice went a lot better this week, and of course, you have homecoming, so I imagine this team really has to be up for it and really, really just wants to scrub the memory of that Lee Williams game out of their heads.
Yeah, that homecoming always brings in that extra spirit, that extra desire, extra drive, and I think these kids had a good week of practice. And coming off a low like last week, there's only one way to go, and that's up, and I think that's what they decide they're going to do. And I think we're going to see a different game tonight.
And, Coach, I'm sure you went through that in your career here at Prescott High School. And after a really kind of devastating low-point loss like Prescott had last week, what are some of the things as a coach you do in order to get your players ready for next week's game?
Well, you try to get them fired up with leadership, too. You try to look for the kids you really need to step things up, become leaders. You talk to the entire team. I always believe that every kid on the field should be a leader. Build yourself up. You're all ready to go. But you always have those kids that step it up a little more. And I think these boys did it this week. I think they realized that it's time to become leaders and time to step it up.
So, and I kind of hate saying this, but I guess sometimes there comes a point where, sometimes a loss is a good one. It's a learning experience, and maybe last week's loss was a good learning experience for the Badgers.
Every loss should be a learning experience. There's just no doubt about it. And every win can still be a big learning environment. But when you lose, you take it a little bit harder, and you try to work a little bit harder.
And I guess the other trap team can fall in is taking on a team like Mingus. And Mingus really banged up here. They have a smaller roster than usual. They have about 8 or 9 kids out tonight for either injuries or ineligibility. And Coach, again, like I said, that could be a trap game. Small roster. They're 0-4. They're coming off last week's loss to Bradshaw Mountain. And Prescott just has to do a good job of making sure they don't take Mingus lightly.
No, you can't take any team lightly, no matter whether they have some big kids down or not.
All right, well, now the Prescott Junior ROTC color guard coming onto the track here as we get set for the national anthem. After the national anthem, we will take a break, and we will have a pregame interview with Prescott running back and linebacker Nick Phillips. Again, that'll be coming up after the break. And in a minute or so here, we will have the Pride of Prescott Marching Band perform the national anthem here at Prescott High School for Homecoming 2025. National anthem performed here at Prescott High School. We'll take a break here on our broadcast. When we come back after that commercial, we will hear Nick Phillips' thoughts on tonight's game with Mingus. We'll be back after this.
It's Badger time, folks. This is Steve Blair, Prescott High School alumni. I'm passionate about Badger football and the love of this great community. I'm also passionate about my business, Blind Brothers of Arizona, the Originals. I truly love making homes more beautiful with the best shutters, shades, and blinds. We come to you with samples and do all the measuring and installation ourselves. We've been around for 40 years, and your satisfaction is always guaranteed. So call us today for a free estimate, 776-1845. Blind Brothers Arizona, the Originals, with Arizona in our name. Go Badgers!
Fullback and outside linebacker Nick Phillips. And Nick, tonight it's the homecoming game. You got Mingus, and yeah, they got vanquished by Bradshaw Mountain last week, 59-0, but they've got some good guys on this team, so obviously the Marauders, not a squad you can take lightly, huh?
No, we cannot.
So what are going to be some of the keys to getting the win here tonight?
Just playing our hardest, focusing on the next play, not taking them lightly at all. We just got to play, our brand of football, focus on ourselves and not let the outside influences get into our heads and just, stay level-headed the entire game.
What are some of the big strengths for Mingus coming into this game?
They play hard. Their defense can be a little tricky, block sometimes, so we just got to watch out for that and just, we got to communicate what we see on the offense, give back to the coaches and see what we need to do.
Nick, I want to thank you very much for joining us here on the pregame show, and best of luck to you and the Badgers tonight.
Thank you.
And we want to thank Nick Phillips for joining us here on our pregame show, giving his thoughts on how tonight's game should pan out. Again, every week, we always have one of the Prescott football players on for the pregame as he gets us ready for tonight. And it is homecoming 2025 here tonight, Prescott versus Mingus. And probably one of the big things people are wondering is, what's the weather going to be like? And for a time, it looked like we were going to be in for a wet one for homecoming. National Weather Service did forecast a 40% chance for rain tonight. However, checking the weather radar as the Badgers come out onto the field with the American flag, the Arizona flag, and the Badger flag as we get ready here. Checking the weather radar for tonight, none of that rain is around the Prescott area right now. And looking ahead for another hour or two, it looks like all the rainstorms will be out of Yavapai County entirely by around 9 o'clock. So we should be in for good weather tonight. Going to be a little cool right now. We have, actually right now it's about 56 degrees here. So a bit cool tonight. It is going to be a little breezy. In fact, we're expecting winds around 15 miles per hour or so. But by the time the game is over, yeah, the temperature could be maybe around 52, 53 degrees. But again, Coach, don't got to worry about rain. Don't got to worry about lightning tonight.
No, it's still going to be a beautiful temperature to play in, especially when you're wearing full equipment. You're not going to feel that air at all.
And, well, looking across the Mingus sidelines, for those of us watching our live stream, they might be able to see that not a very big squad for Mingus. And this is an even smaller squad than normal because Mingus has about 8 or 9 kids who are out with either injury or eligibility tonight. And, Coach, one of those guys who is out, and this is certainly a big loss for Mingus, it is Shane Chubb, who last year was one of their top running backs and all Grand Canyon Region second team selection. He is out of the lineup, and him and Remington Stokes made a pretty good 1-2 combination there in the backfield, and now it's just one combination with just Remington Stokes and no Shane Chubb.
Yeah, that hurts when you have a key running back down, you have a low squad. I noticed on the roster a lot of kids are going two ways, both ways, offense and defense. That wears them down. Prescott's lucky we don't. That's going to be a telltale in the probably second half.
Yeah, and that's what Coach Cody Collette said on our morning report today, is that he wants to take advantage of Mingus having so many of their guys going both ways tonight, and we'll see if that pans out as, well, we already had the coin flip here as the captains for Prescott and Mingus heading back to the sidelines. Prescott wearing the gold jerseys tonight, Mingus in the all-white jerseys. And before we get going with the game, well, folks, it's time for the song dedication for tonight's game. The one I'm going with is Rise Up by the German singer and hurdy-gurdy player, Patty Gurdy. After last week's defeat at the hands of Lee Williams, the Badgers definitely need to rise up and get over that disappointing performance and get back on track with a homecoming game win tonight. And now everyone's probably saying, what's a hurdy-gurdy, John? A hurdy-gurdy is a string instrument that looks like a funky violin with a hand crank.
Thank you, John.
And there are some metal bands in Europe who actually have hurdy-gurdy players.
Now that you mention it, I remember seeing something like that.
All right, well, Prescott will receive to get things started here. Jacob Chamberlain back to return the kick. As we are just about ready for Homecoming 2025, and you're listening to Badger Football here on the news, 1490 AM, 103.5 FM, KYCA, Prescott, Arizona, USA, where the time is 6:59. Number 19, actually it's going to be Remington Stokes who will be kicking it away. You'll probably hear his name a lot tonight for Mingus. Comes up to the ball, kicks, and we are underway. Not a very long kick. And it's caught by one of the upmen for Prescott. He makes a turn. Actually, that's Caleb Fox, who's going to be our senior spotlight tonight. And Fox gets up to about the 30-yard line.
Not a bad little return. I think they apparently don't have a deep kicker, so they're just booting it, getting their men down, deep coverage. So we still kept us within the 30-yard line, so that's good.
And we'll see how the Badgers respond here. Again, after last week's disappointing loss to Lee Williams, Badgers really need to have a good opening drive here. They'll be 1st and 10 from the 31. James Heffron, the sophomore, in at quarterback, trips out to the near side for Prescott, moving left to right across your radio dial. There's the handoff. Looks like that's Chamberlain. Chamberlain bursts through the middle, and Chamberlain at the 45-yard line. And coach for Prescott, that's exactly the kind of first play they needed.
Yep, they gained about 12 yards on that one, so that was a nice thing. Good hold by the line again.
Chambo with 538 rushing yards this season.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's been a power horse for the Badgers.
Give again, looks like it's Jacob Chamberlain, and this time Chambo, well, Mingus was waiting for him. They just hold him up and knock him down.
That was a good defensive stand. Mingus is in a 3-front, 5 linebackers, so it's a 3-5 defense. Big boys up front, actually, but like I say, they're going to be offensive line too, so they may wear down.
Ethan Moore, he was the guy in on that tackle. Got a 1-yard pickup there by Chamberlain. 2nd and 9 for the Badgers. It's Chamberlain again. He goes up to the left side, and he finds a big gap, and he takes it up to the 40-yard line for the first down. And, Coach, this is exactly what we saw a couple weeks ago against Northwest Christian. That offensive line just opening up big gaps.
Yeah, they're opening up big gaps. The backs are running hard. They're running low and keeping their feet going. They're doing a good job. Combination.
Jacob Diener out to the far side for Prescott. Over at the near side, Kenny Miller-Terry. Heffron from the gun. He hands it off. There's Chamberlain. Chamberlain finds another good gap. He swings out to the right side. He makes the turn. A good block there by Kenny Miller-Terry, and Chambo gets up to the 20.
Another first down. That's 3 straight. Badgers are doing great, moving the ball.
That was about a 20-yard pickup there almost, Coach.
Yep, he did a great job. Again, good blocking. Even the wide receivers are blocking the cornerbacks out in front of him, so it's good blocking out by everybody out there.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Mingus 23-yard line. Heffron, the handoff. Chamberlain going up the middle. Oh, Chamberlain taken down from behind.
Still picked up 5, so still a good run.
Ryan Sousa. Ryan Sosa gets the tackle there on Chambo. So 2nd and 5 now for Prescott. Ball at the Mingus 18. Now Braylon Johnson in. He's going to stand next to Heffron in the gun. Phillips in motion. Johnson has it. Johnson goes up the middle, gets hung up, and then gets taken down at about the 15.
Hand up to Braylon Johnson.
Picked up by 2.
2-yard gain.
Yep, 2-yard gain there for Johnson. Going to bring up 3rd down and 3 now for the Badgers. Heffron from the gun. Phillips in motion. There's the throw. Oh, pass intended for Phillips. And that ball just popped out of his hands.
Incomplete. 4th down. Lost about 3 yards on that play.
And we're going to get the kicking team in here for Prescott.
That'll bring us to 4th down and 7.
Actually, no.
No,
looks like they're
they're
going to
go for it.
4th and 7. Coach Collette really rolling the dice here on this one. And it's Trace Overton who gets the ball. Overton makes the cut, and he's not going to get it. Overton maybe picked up about 2 yards before Mingus slammed the door shut on him.
Well, we had good drives going, and it's kind of just petered out.
So Mingus will take over on their own 19-yard line. 8:39 left to go in the first quarter. Nothing the score. And for Mingus, we get to see their quarterback, Hunter Bejarano. Bejarano with the handoff. It looks like that's Remington Stokes, and Stokes gets hung up at about the 24-yard line.
Might mention Stokes' uncle was the quarterback in the 1997 Mingus championship.
Yeah, and I believe you coached against him in your first year at the helm of
He
Prescott.
played against my boys, too, his sophomore, junior year.
2nd and 6 now for Mingus. Bejarano. Another handoff, and the Badgers drag down the running back. And again, it's Remington Stokes. Kenny Miller-Terry, Easton Shy in on the tackle.
Looks like it's about 3rd and 2.
28-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 1 for Mingus.
Remington Stokes last year, all-region second-team selection for the Marauders. 2 receivers to either side for Mingus. Bejarano with the handoff. Stokes goes right up the middle, gets some good blocks, and Mingus picks up a first down. Number 23, Wyatt Wilhide, throwing a couple good blocks there, clearing a path for Stokes.
Stokes gets the ball to the 33-yard line, picking up enough for a Mingus first down.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 33 now for the Marauders. Nicholas Brewer.
And he got trips right. Motion.
Bejarano drops back, throws, and almost intercepted by Caleb Fox as he came right over number 12, Nicholas Brewer.
That was good defense. Came right over the back room. Perfect timing on hitting the ball.
So that'll mean 2nd and 10 now for the Marauders. Bejarano in his sophomore season for Mingus. So we got a couple of sophomore quarterbacks. Well, wait a minute. We had a penalty?
Penalty on the Badgers.
Personal foul? I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
That'd be a personal foul.
Yeah, now Mingus is going to be 1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line. That's definitely something the Badgers didn't want to see happen.
No, not this early.
Bejarano with the handoff. Stokes going up the middle, and the Badgers plow into him, and there's a horde of gold jerseys taking him down, leading the charge. Noble Ortega.
Got about a yard. He hit the wall.
Trace Overton in on the tackle. Short gain on the run.
Yeah, 2nd and 9 now for the Marauders. 6:30 left to go in the first quarter. We are scoreless here at Bill Shepherd Field for Homecoming 2025. Bejarano with the throw. There's the catch on the far side. And that's going to be a first down for Mingus as they are in Badger territory at about the 42-yard line. That is number 4, Cameron Houselman.
Yeah, wide opening. Some breakdown in pass coverage because he was wide open over in that corner.
Oh. Yeah. Well, we found out from Jason Zinzaletta, our boss here, that it looks like it's a roughing the passer penalty that was called. As speaking of the passer, Bejarano throws it way over the head of Remington Stokes for an incompletion.
Yeah, that was actually no play at all. I don't know if he felt the pressure coming in and just threw it away or what.
So that'll be 2nd and 10 now. And the handoff at Stokes. He goes up the middle, bounces off a couple of tackles, finally brought down past the 40-yard line. Pickup of maybe about 4 or 5 there.
Yep.
He gets the ball down to the 39-yard line.
And
Third and about 7.
Mingus going to have it at about the 39-yard line. And as the clock keeps ticking down, 5:42 to go in the first quarter. Again, 0-0 our score.
Okay, they got Twins left.
Yeah, we're going to get a penalty, and I think we had some movement.
Motion, yeah, movement by Mingus.
False start on Mingus. That'll set him back 5.
Ball start.
Yep, it's going to be 3rd and about 12.
5-yard penalty.
And the Prescott student section getting the "You Can't Do That" chant going. So now it'll be 3rd and 12. Mingus with the ball at the Badger 44. Hunter Bejarano from the gun. He steps back. He's under pressure. He's trying to get away, and he throws it, and coming in right behind him was Dante DeCourt.
Big old Dante. That's someone you don't want chasing you.
Yeah, boy, talk about hearing the footsteps. With Dante DeCourt, you could probably hear those footsteps all the way over to Williamson Valley Road.
Yep, no doubt about it.
So 4th and 12 now for the Marauders. They're in the huddle, and who knows?
Yeah, they'll kick away.
Yeah, Coach Midkiff not rolling the dice here.
Nope, you don't do that. Not against Prescott. Whoa.
Low snap. Ball bounces. Stokes gets the punt off, and that one is going to soar out of bounds into the Mingus sidelines.
About 28-yard line, 30-yard line.
Yeah, well, it was.
He was lucky to get that off, and that's.
Yeah, bad snap. And, the Badgers were charging after him, and Stokes. Actually, I thought for a second the Badgers would have a good chance of blocking that punt.
Yeah, it's only about a 15-yard punt, but that's 15 more Prescott's got to gain, so. It was good effort on him getting it off.
5:09 remaining in the first quarter. Scoreless game. Hefferon from the gun. Phillips in motion. Give is to Johnson, and Johnson finds a nice gap, puts his head down, and he flings himself to about the 38-yard line. Pick up of about 7 or 8 there, Coach.
Yeah, about 8 yards. That's good. Hole was there again. He burst through, stayed low, kept running.
8-yard gain.
Yeah, Badgers not wasting any time.
Now here's the wear out thing where they're trying to keep the ball going and keep these guys on their feet. Wear them out as fast as you can.
Johnson with the ball again. He's got the first down, gets up to about the 45-yard line before he's finally knocked down.
Picked up about 7 yards on that one.
Ethan Moore, one of the guys in on the tackle, and you'll be hearing Ethan Moore's name quite a bit on defense for Mingus. First down for the Badgers. They have the ball at their own 45. And we got trips to the near side for the Badgers. Hefferon, short throw. Kenny Military reaches up, catches it. Military at the 50. He's at the 40, and then finally dragged down at the 30-yard line by Mingus. That was number 11, Ryan Sosa. And about a 22-yard pickup there, Hefferon to KMT.
That was a good block out there by our wide receiver. I think that was Kenny Miller-Terry that did a good block for him out there in the front. Got that extra yards.
KMT, 161 receiving yards this season. Give is to Chamberlain. Chamberlain finds a nice gap through the right side, makes a turn at the 20, at the 10, and finally dragged down around the 5-yard line again. It's Ryan Sosa, the sophomore safety, doing the tackling, but a big first down there by the Badgers.
For another Badger. First down.
And the Badgers closing in on the end zone. 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Heffron hands it off to Chamberlain. Chamberlain makes a cut, goes up the middle, taken down from behind by the Marauders, and that looks like it was number 73, Jordan Watson.
Yeah, second and about 2 yards for a first down.
Chamberlain gets all the way down to the 8-yard line. It'll be 2nd down.
Badgers now at the Mingus 8-yard line, trying to erase the bagel on their side of the scoreboard with 3:30 to go in the first quarter. Heffron from the gun. And again, he hands off to Chamberlain. Chamberlain finds a nice gap. He makes the cut. He gets spun around by the Mingus defense, taken down at about the 2-yard line, but that should be a first down, Coach.
First and goal, 2-yard line.
Down to the 2-yard line.
Just keep pounding away. That's what they're doing. That's what's working. Just keep pounding at him.
First down.
Jacob Chamberlain going 5'11", 180 pounds. Not an easy guy to bring down.
No, he's determined to stay running. He's gets his legs going and doesn't want to stop.
There's the handoff. It's Chamberlain again. This time the Marauders catch him in the backfield, drop him at about the 8-yard line. And again, Ryan Sosa leading the charge there against Chambo.
2nd and goal.
2nd and goal, and they're going to put that ball at about the 4-yard line, it looks like. Now,
Yeah, we lost about 4 or 5 yards on that one. 4 yards.
and now Braylon Johnson standing next to Heffron. He gets the ball. Johnson sweeping up the left side. He makes the cut, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Braylon Johnson.
Yeah, wide open on the outside. He kept that good angle outside. They couldn't catch him. I'm surprised Mingus didn't have somebody out there, but that's okay. We did the score.
Well, Coach, already the Badgers have more points tonight than they did in all of last week's game with Lee Williams.
Yep, that's good. We're off to a good start.
Now Costas coming in to kick the PAT. Costas has been perfect on his extra point attempts this season. There's the kick, and it is, as usual, good. So with 2:25 left to go in the first quarter, the Badgers strike first. Braylon Johnson's touchdown makes it 7-0 Badgers. Let's take a 30-second break here on our broadcast. We'll be back with more from Bill Shepherd Field right after this.
This is Steve Sishka with Olson's for Healthy Animals. Trust is a word that is rarely applied to certain areas of our society, nationally and locally. I'm sure you know what I mean. However, trust is what people do have when they vote a business the best of. Olson's has been voted the best of by the readers of not one, but two trusted media sources, the Daily Courier and Prescott Living in 2024. Both were for the best pet supply. There's a reason why our motto is good enough just isn't. We don't take you for granted. We're proud to constantly earn your business.
Back here at Bill Shepherd Field, John Russ, Lou Benetone with you. For the Badgers have taken a 7-0 lead over Mingus thanks to a Braylon Johnson touchdown. Speaking of scores in the second quarter down at Tempe, all right, now it's TCU 17 and the Sun Devils nothing.
Oh, boy.
Well, number 24 ranked Horned Frogs. And it's going to be a tough one for ASU as that kick is going to land in the end zone. Hey, folks, I want to remind you that tonight's Badger football game is sponsored in part by Blind Brothers Arizona and Badger alum Steve Blair, offering premier window treatments in northern Arizona since 1979. And now we'll see how the Marauders respond here, Coach. Again, the Marauders with a very shortened roster tonight because of a lot of injuries and ineligibilities.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Historically, they've always had phenomenal football teams, but things have gone downhill over in the valley over there, unfortunately.
And, of course, their former coach, the current coach of Bradshaw Mountain, Bob Young, who did a fantastic job with that Mingus team.
For many years over there, yeah, he did.
Yeah, now one of his former players in charge, Aaron Midkiff, who was part of that 97 championship team.
Yep, that was a good group of boys, I tell you, for sure.
There's the pitch, there's the reverse, and it's Sosa with the ball, and Sosa, well, one number 11 takes care of another. Sosa getting tackled by Kenny Miller-Terry, but that's going to be a first down there by Sosa. 12-yard pickup by the sophomore Sosa. And now the Marauders with the ball at their own 32-yard line. 2:10 left to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 the score. Prescott on top. By the way, speaking of Bob Young, his Bradshaw Mountain Bears, well, they're way out west. They're in Bullhead City tonight taking on Mojave. We hope to bring you some scores of that game later on in the broadcast.
Okay, double twins.
There's the handoff. Oh, we got a flag on the play.
Oh, that was a hit. I couldn't tell who took him down, but that was a hit. Took him right down like hitting a wall.
That might have been Menno Dow on the hit.
It may have been.
But again, it looks like this play is going to get erased. We had a flag come flying in from the far side.
Going to be against Mingus or what?
Well, they threw the flag just as...
Yeah, they're going to move him back.
Yeah, they threw the flag just as Bejarano handed the ball off to Stokes.
So we had a choice of going second down in there or take first and 5 yards back. We took first and 5 yards back.
So first and 15 now for the Marauders. Minute 35 left to go in the first quarter of Homecoming 2025 for Prescott. Bejarano again from the gun. He pitches the ball to Remington Stokes. He's running up the far side. He's pursued by Caleb Fox, and Fox spins him into the ground like a top.
Yep, he took that perfect angle with pursuit and didn't let Stokes get out of his sight.
And it looks like they're going to say Remington Stokes might have lost a yard. Yeah, they're going to say he lost 2 yards on that.
Yeah, he just couldn't get back up the line of scrimmage. It was a great angle of pursuit.
Great job there by Caleb Fox.
Yep, he pursued, good angle of pursuit, and was covering ground.
20 tackles this season for Fox coming into tonight's contest. 2nd and 17 now for the Marauders. Pressure for Bejarano. He throws the ball, and it's intercepted by Trace Overton. Overton down the sidelines, and Overton taken out at the 15-yard line. An interception by Trace Overton.
That's one thing you never want your quarterback to do when he's running for his life is just fling it up. That's one of the consequences that usually happens.
And now the Badgers are in great field position. 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line, thanks to that INT by Trace Overton. His first interception of the season for Prescott. Hefferon from the gun trips out to the near side for the Badgers. And there is the give. And that is Braylon Johnson, who gets upended by Remington Stokes at about the 10-yard line.
They had him behind the line of scrimmage. They just couldn't keep him down. More of an arm tackle. He broke that and gained some good yards.
And let's see where they're going to spot it. It looks like it's going to be about an 8-yard pickup there for Johnson. And I think the Badgers are just going to let time expire here in the first quarter. Clock hits 0. And we head into a commercial break, and then the second quarter with the Badgers up 7-0 over the Marauders. Break time here, commercial break, and we'll take a 30-second break, and we'll be back with more from Prescott High School right after this.
At Yavapai Exceptional Industries, we're constantly improving products, processes, and outcomes. And now, good people of the Central Highlands, we're bringing on drone surveillance. Drone surveillance of your backyard. And if you're not outfitted with patio furniture made at Yavapai Exceptional Industries, well, get with the program, people. YEIWorks.com. Place your order now and book a tour while you're at it. It'll make your day.
John Rust, Lou Benetone with you here as we get started with the second quarter of action. Prescott up 7-0, and they've got a good chance of increasing that lead. 2nd and 2 from the Mingus 8-yard line, thanks to an interception by Trace Overton.
That was great coverage on him. That quarterback, again, just kind of flung it up. Good old Trace was there.
James Heffron from the gun. He's got Jacob Chamberlain standing next to him. And standing next to Chambo, it looks like that's Braylon Johnson. He's going to give the ball to Chamberlain. Chamberlain bursts through the middle, and Chamberlain into the end zone for a touchdown. And boy, oh boy, Coach, another great job by that big Prescott O-line. The pancake posse, as Coach Collette likes to call him, coming through and just making a big hole for Chambo.
That's what they're doing. It's nice to have big linemen like that can open those holes. That's what we talked about on Mingus in 97. They had a big offensive line and good backs. And it took them a long way, all the way to the state championship.
Brady Costas for the extra point. And as usual, Brady Costas with the PAT, ho-hum, business as usual for Mr. Costas. All right, 11:56 to go here in quarter number 2, and the Badgers up their lead. It's now 14-0 over Mingus. Let's take a break here on our broadcast of Badger football. We'll be back right after this.
Exceptional Community Hospital Prescott is now open. Prescott's newest state-of-the-art hospital provides 24/7 emergency care, featuring private, spacious inpatient rooms and on-site radiology, lab, and pharmacy services. We accept all insurance plans and honor in-network benefits for emergency care. With minimal to no ER wait times, you can trust us to deliver the exceptional care you deserve. Exceptional Community Hospital Prescott is located at 4822 State Highway 69. Learn more at www.ehc24.com.
Back here at Bill Shepherd Field, John Russ, Lou Benetone with you. Jacob Chamberlain with his 7th touchdown run of the season puts Prescott on top 14-0. Badgers will kick the ball away. Mingus now has to dig themselves out of a hole here. And here comes the return by the Marauders. That's number 6, Tristan Tim. And Tim breaks free. He's at the 40, down the sidelines at the 50, now at the 40 in Badger territory, and he gets piled on by Prescott. Rutger Funk, Menno Dow, a couple of the guys in on the tackle there, but man, oh man, Tristan Tim with a great return for the Marauders, and that immediately puts them in Badger territory for their first play of this drive.
He headed right for the sideline. I think he saw that opening. Usually have a guy keeping outside coverage totally, so our guy abandoned it somehow, went inside too much, and he got outside on our outside guy, and there's nobody there behind that.
Hey folks, I want to remind you that Prescott True Value on Miller Valley Road, there's so much more than a hardware store, locally owned since 1982. Prescott True Value, another Badger sponsor. Bejarano from the gun, he hands it off. Actually, that's to number 10, Dawson Rice. Rice going up the middle, and Rice looks like he picks up a few there.
Hand off for a short gain. Gunnar Parra in on the tackle.
Gunnar Parra, one of the guys in on the tackle, and yeah, actually it's only going to be about a yard picked up by Dawson Rice.
I have a Dawson Rice on my freshman team. I'm
Really?
like, what's going on there? Yep.
Oh man, they cloned him, Coach. Dude.
Could have. My kid did a good job too. I'll have to ask Coach Rice if that's any relation over there.
All right, 2nd and 9 now for the Marauders. Bejarano from the gun. We got trips out to the left side. Bejarano stepping back. He's under pressure. He avoids a sack. He's still running. He's throwing, and whoa, that ball was almost picked off by Kingston Douthit. And Gunnar Parra putting a lot of pressure there on Bejarano.
And that big frame there made him throw it a little higher than he usually would have, and it went over his receiver's head, but luckily for him it wasn't intercepted.
3rd and 9 now for Mingus. They have the ball at the Badger 36-yard line. As Mingus talking things over here. Other football action going on tonight in our area. Chino Valley, 4-1 on the season. They've got a big challenge ahead of them. They host 5-0 Scottsdale Christian tonight.
Scottsdale Christian is usually always tough.
Throw and, well, trying to catch it one-handed was number 20, William Latcher, and that didn't go the way he planned it for.
Nope. Pass was not over his head running at an angle. It just had no chance for it.
So this is going to bring up 4th down now for the Marauders. How about that, Coach? Tristan Tim with a great return on the kick for the Marauders, gets them into Badger territory, and it looks like it's going to be 3 and out for the Marauders here.
Yeah, yep. Getting good field position, but you got to get an offense that can keep it moving.
And you know, we had a penalty here, and I didn't even see the flag, but it was on Mingus. Prescott declined it, so the Marauders will kick it away. And with the punt, it's Remington Stokes, and he punts it into the end zone, and Coach Stokes almost got knocked to the ground. I think it was Menno Dow who was right in his grill as he got the punt off.
Yeah, luckily it hit him on the lower leg, so there's no penalty on that one.
So the Badger defense doing a good job there after a big return by Tim on the kick. And now the Prescott offense back out on the field with 10:44 remaining in quarter number 2. Prescott up 14-0 here in the homecoming game. Actually, second week in a row, the Badgers have been involved in a homecoming game. Last week, they were the opponent for Lee Williams' homecoming.
Yes, they were.
And there is the give, and running back gets close to the 30-yard line, and that was Braylon Johnson on the carry. Pickup of 8 yards.
And we're picking up 8 a crack. That's good.
Again, that's kind of what we saw a couple weeks ago on this very field against Northwest Christian.
It was. So you wonder what happened last week. It's something you just forget now and just move on.
Just one of those days, Coach. I guess that's what you got to chalk it up to.
One of those days.
Jacob Chamberlain with he spins off one tackle, breaks free of another, spins off another, and finally Chamberlain taken down at the 45-yard line. Great job by Chamberlain of just bouncing off some tackles, jinking around tackles, and of course another great job by that offensive line. Guys like Dante DeCourt and Bo Bryce.
Yeah, the front line is doing a great job. Chamberlain's hitting the holes hard, keeping his feet going. He does not like to go down once he breaks free in that hole, but the line's doing a wonderful job for him.
Elijah Carr, another guy on that line. And again, actually that's Braylon Johnson with the ball.
Looks like number 8 tackled him, Ethan Moore.
And just a pickup of 2 there for the rodeo champ, Braylon Johnson. When I mean rodeo champ, I mean like world junior rodeo champ. He's very, very good at that sport.
Yep.
Johnson with the ball, up the middle, past midfield, and he is taken down. Looks like at the Mingus 49. 6-yard gain there by Chambo.
Looks like it's about 3rd and 2.
Jacob Chamberlain already over the century mark in rushing yards. 8:50 left to go in the second quarter of a 14-0 ball game. Prescott on top. Backs to either side of Heffron. He's going to hand that one off. I think that's to Braylon Johnson. He breaks free of the tackle. Johnson at the 40. Now at the 30. Makes a turn. Johnson at the 20. He's got open field at the 10. And into the end zone for the touchdown. Braylon Johnson. His second rushing touchdown of the night. And it's a 48-yarder.
Yeah, good cut back on the open field. He did a great job. Hit the sideline. Cut back beautifully. Saw a lot of green and went for it and ran on in.
Well, this is definitely a complete 180 from the Prescott team we saw last week at Lee Williams. And now Brady Costas in for the PAT. Braylon Johnson, touchdown number 2 on the night. And touchdown number 5 on the season for the junior. As that
Up
kick,
and good.
of course it's good. It's Brady Costas.
Yep.
All right, folks, 8:32 left to go here in the second quarter, and it's 21-0 in favor of Prescott. Let's take a break here on our broadcast of Badger football. We'll be back in 30 seconds right after this.
Prescott True Value Hardware, where we believe behind every project is a true value. Hi, I'm Suzanne Springer. There's a reason we have this slogan, because it's true. Over the years, Prescott True Value has become so much more than just a great hardware store with full-service hardware, paint, tools, outdoor living, barbecues, and don't forget the kitchen shop. We are committed to making sure you find what you want and know what to do with it. We're living the slogan here at Prescott True Value on Miller Valley Road, where we believe behind every project is a true value. Go Badgers!
John Rust, Lou Benetone back here with you. Bill Shepherd Field, 21-0, Badgers on top. And Costas kicking this one away. And here comes the return by the Marauders. Again, that's Tristan Tim. And this time the Badgers were ready for Tim, as he only picked up maybe about 4 or 5 yards on that return. Badgers did a great job closing in on him, Coach.
Yeah, they did. They kept their lanes on that one, closed him off. He couldn't get outside and sealed him off. Keeping your lanes, that's what they got to do.
Hey, folks, want to remind you that tonight's Prescott Badger football game, sponsored by Exceptional Community Hospital, Prescott's newest state-of-the-art hospital and 24/7 emergency service on Highway 69. Your community, your hospital. Hunter Bejarano back out to lead the Marauder offense again. Low snap. There's the throw, and it's caught, and the receiver is able to slip away from
First
the Badger
down,
defenders.
Had 2 defenders on him.
And that is number 5, Brian Moreno with the catch.
It was a 12-yard gain. First down and 10.
12-yard pickup for Moreno from Hunter Bejarano. Mingus trying to get something positive here. They were shut out last week by Bradshaw Mountain, 59-0.
Yeah, I think they've been outscored 165-27 this year so far.
Oh, there's the flip, and that is to number 9, Matthew Dunlap. And Dunlap going down the near side, and Dunlap taken down by Kenny Miller-Terry.
Yeah, he comes up really well on that outside and seals things off, Terry does.
KMT, one of the very few guys on Prescott who actually plays both sides of the ball.
Yep.
Well, meanwhile, Mingus, as we mentioned in the pregame, most of their guys play on both sides of the ball.
Now look at the sideline over there. Hardly anybody over there.
There's the throw. Catch made on Kenny Miller-Terry. He just goes all over number 11, Ryan Sosa.
That's a bad mark.
I think Sosa might have lost a yard or two there.
No, he's marked it the right way.
Oh, okay.
I think I had it wrong. So I thought they were going to mark it back here. About 1 yard short.
Well, good job by Kenny Miller-Terry immediately jumping on Sosa, but Mingus close to another first down. Stokes going out to the far side for the Marauders. Bejarano from the gun. He's barking out the signals. Now here's the snap. And run goes up the middle.
He got it.
Yeah, good job.
Barely, but he got it.
Well, good job by the O-line, getting a pretty good push there, including from Jordan Watson.
Yeah, he got hit in the backfield, but only by an arm, so he wasn't enough to take him down. So
Jordan Watson, an all Grand Canyon region honorable mention last year for Mingus. So 1st and 10 from the 42. 6 minutes left to go here in the first half. 21-0 the score. Badgers on top. Pomp and circumstance of homecoming coming up at halftime. Big throw there by Bejarano. Oh, almost intercepted by Kingston Douthit. So close to an INT for Douthit.
That was close.
But it'll go down as an incompletion. And it'll be 2nd and 10 now.
It's a good thing he came up on that because it was falling. Like it might have had a chance of getting caught. And he came in and knocked it down.
And Bejarano getting his troops ready for the next play. Bejarano, who in the season opener against St. Mary's had 204 passing yards and 2 touchdowns for the Marauders. Throw, and there's the catch on the far side, and that is number 5, Moreno again, and Moreno gets up close to the 50-yard line on the far side.
Gained about 4 yards, looks like. 3-4 yards. Hard yards. He had to fight to get those.
Yeah, maybe about 5 yards, they're going to say, Coach.
Yep.
Yeah. So Moreno with a 5-yard reception. Bring up 3rd and 5. Marauders with the ball at their own 47. Coming down to the final 5 minutes of the second quarter. Sosa coming out to the near side for the Marauders. Actually, it's going to be trips out to the near side.
Trips out. Motion back into Twins.
Bejarano dropping back. Under pressure. The throw. And trying for the leaping catch there was number 12, Nicholas Brewer. And that'll go down as an incompletion. And that'll bring up 4th down for the Marauders.
Looks like someone's got a timeout. Marauders got a timeout.
Yeah. While we have the timeout, folks, hey, I got to give a shout out to the Prescott flag football team. And, you know, if you're listening to us here in the stadium, well, come over to the snack bar located just beneath our press box here because the flag football team is selling dirty soda down there.
Dirty soda.
Dirty. Okay. Basically, this originated in Utah since, you know, a lot of the place is dry. So basically it's you take regular soda and you put all kinds of funky flavors into it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and apparently I guess I was the very first customer for their dirty soda, so I had a combination of root beer with English toffee.
And how was that?
It was very good.
And I see you're all excited, full of energy now.
Yes, yeah, well, hey, Coach, I could have had like a Mountain Dew dirty soda, but if I did that, the sugar rush, you and Jason would probably have to, you know, I don't know, give me a tranquilizer dart or something because I'd be bouncing off the walls with that kind of sugar rush. So
that's all right.
So the flag football team selling dirty soda here to support their cause, and they're off to a great start so far, 4-0 so far this season.
My
Back
goodness.
to action.
They're going for it.
And Bejarano still has the ball, still running. Just trying to find someone to pitch it to. And now the Badgers finally get on top of him, take him down. But I'll tell you what, Bejarano, he was able to stay mobile for quite a while there, Coach.
He was. I wasn't sure if there was supposed to be a pitch man by him because he looked around, didn't see anybody, curled back in the middle of the field. And by then, Prescott swarmed, and I'm surprised because we're getting it on our own, 42-yard line?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, like, I think 43 or 44, yeah.
Yep.
Still, very good field position for Prescott.
He ran a few seconds off the clock doing that, too.
Hey, folks, I want to remind you that tonight's Badger football game is sponsored in part by Olson's for Healthy Animals, where good enough just isn't, with locations in Prescott, Chino, Dewey, Flagstaff, and the Verde Valley, where, of course, Mingus is from. And Coach Collette holding up.
Maybe something with the clock.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think it was. I think now they fixed the clock now. It's now 4 minutes and 21 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. For a second, it looked like Coach Collette was pointing at us. I'm like, what do we do, Coach?
No, pointing up at the guys next to us.
All right, so here we go. 1st and 10 from the 43 in Mingus territory for the Badgers. Phillips in motion. They're going to give the ball to Nick Phillips. And Phillips, well, he tried to hurdle himself past a couple of defenders. Unfortunately for Phillips, taken down. About a 2-yard loss for him.
Looks like more about a three loss. 3 yard.
2nd down and 13.
2nd and 13 now for the Badgers as we come down to the final 4 minutes. Join us for our halftime show, folks. We've got Caleb Fox as our senior spotlight. We also have an interview with Layla Aurich from the Prescott volleyball team, who are undefeated in their PowerPoint matches so far this season. Heffron drops back, looking, hurls the ball downfield to a wide, a wide open Jacob Diener, and he dropped it.
Yeah, he was wide open, no one anywhere around him within 10 yards, but I think he may have taken his eyes off thinking there's more green in front and didn't seal the ball.
And Jacob Diener just looks up to the heavens and kind of slaps his hands together, and he goes, I can't believe I dropped that one. So 3rd and 13 now for the Badgers. They're going to run it, and they're not going to run it very far. Mingus breaks through the middle, and they take down Braylon Johnson. About 3 guys hopping on Johnson to take him down.
We lost another yard, so we're 4th and about 15 now. Punt team coming in.
So definitely not the way that Prescott wanted this drive to go, as they go 3 and out. Remington Stokes going to go back past the 20-yard line to return this punt for the Marauders. Three minutes and counting to go here in the second quarter. Badgers up 21-0. And there's the, I think that
was
punt,
tipped.
Yeah, I think Mingus got a hand on that punt.
They did. They came across the right side of our ball line and tipped that ball.
And it looked like Dunlap was able to down it right at the Mingus 40-yard line, so some pretty good field position for the Marauders to start this drive.
That was about a 12-yard punt with the tip.
Well, we'll see what the Marauders can do here, trailing 21-0. As Bejarano setting up the offense here to start this drive.
Okay, he's going trips left now.
By the way, Marauders moving left to right across your radio dial or your screen, depending on how you're following us.
Oh,
Remington Stokes, he might have fumbled it.
Looked like there was a fumble.
Yeah, Stokes going right up the middle, and now it looks like Stokes was able to hold on to the ball.
Got it back.
I was with you, Coach. I thought he fumbled it too, but Stokes able to hold on to it, and it looks like he lost about a yard.
Yeah, he got hit right away at the line.
Remington Stokes, 7 carries, just 13 yards tonight for him.
Yeah, they got zeroed in on him. He's not getting what he needs to get.
And again, their other featured back, Shane Chubb, out with an injury tonight. Both these guys, Stokes and Chubb, all region second-team selections last year. Throw by Bejarano, and that one bounces right at the 50-yard line up to Brewer, so that'll go down as an incompletion.
It's going to be 3rd and about 12, 11.
Yeah, 3rd and 11, they're saying on the scoreboard. Mingus with the ball at their own 39. Couple times in this game, Mingus has had some pretty good field position, but the Badger defense has really denied them anything major.
Yeah, they just haven't got it going yet.
So here we go, 3rd and 11 now for the Marauders. Short throw, and bobbling the catch is Remington Stokes. Had it right on his fingertips and just couldn't secure it.
Yeah, it looked like he might have had some yards to run a little bit there, but now they're coming in to punt the ball away.
Under 2 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter, as Dante DeCourt and big old Blake McGlory coming out of the game. Blake McGlory, 6'6", 315-pound junior. He's done a great job on the line this year for the Badgers.
Yes, he has. Big old boy.
High snap. Stokes gets the punt off. And that will bounce and be downed by number 6, Tristan Tim.
Goes to the 35-yard line.
Badgers going to start at their own 35-yard line. And while we've got some time here, folks, I want to remind you that Tonight's Badger football game, sponsored in part by the Prescott Unified School District, the Badgers' biggest fans, every child, every day. Visit PrescottSchools.com.
Start-finish line of the track if they haven't gone down there already. All people participating in the coronation ceremony.
And again, we got the homecoming ceremony coming up here at halftime. Prescott football's Ashton Whitwell, a homecoming king candidate. Ashton Whitwell, unfortunately, out with an injury today. As Jacob Chamberlain busts through the line, breaks free of a couple tackles.
12 more.
Gets up to about the 50-yard line, or almost the 50-yard line.
14-yard gain, enough for another back.
Yeah, they're going to call it a 13-yard gain for Chambo.
Yep.
And again, it's Chamberlain. He goes out to the near side, breaks free of a couple tackles, scrambles away from another, and then gets taken down at about the 37-yard line. Great job by Chamberlain just jinking around some of those Mingus tackles.
13-yard gain
and another 13-yard pickup for Chamberlain.
First down.
He's racking the yards up today.
I've got him down for about 135 yards right now. We haven't even gotten to halftime, and Chamberlain with the ball again at the 30, at the 20, and finally dragged down at about the 17-yard line.
About an 18-yard pickup.
Ethan Moore, the guy who put the final tackle there on Chamberlain. And, of course, that is going to be a Badger first down. 1st and 10 from the 17 for Prescott. And there's a give again to Chamberlain, going right up the middle, finds a nice gap. Remington Stokes gets a hand on him. And a couple other Marauders are able to finish off Chambo, as we're going to get a timeout here. About a 5-yard gain for Chamberlain.
Yeah, he's running hard. Line's giving big holes for him. Offense is willing away. Looks like Mingus is starting to show the wear and tear.
While we got some time here, folks, want to remind you that tonight's Badger football game sponsored in part by Yavapai Exceptional Industries, a charitable organization serving adults with disabilities since 1974. Also, tonight's Badger football game brought to you in part by Blind Brothers Arizona and Badger alum Steve Blair, offering premier window treatments in northern Arizona since 1979. And while we have some time, let's check in with ASU football, which is actually being broadcast on our sister station, the team 1450 AM KNOT. And at halftime, the Sun Devils making a comeback. It's 17-14.
All right.
ASU trailing by 3.
Getting respectable.
Wonder how many people are flipping back and forth between KYCA and KNOT, trying to check out both games.
Yep.
That's what you do when you're a big sports fan.
That's what you do.
All right, 2nd and 5 for the Badgers from the Mingus 13. 47 seconds left to go in the half. Chamberlain with the ball. Chamberlain finds a big gap. He bounces off a couple of tackles, and he gets up to about the 3-yard line, and that's going to be another Badger first down.
He's going to punch it in right here.
10-yard gain and another Badger.
Can I call that a bold prediction or a somewhat bold prediction,
That's
Coach?
a bold prediction. Here he comes.
Here goes the run. Chamberlain has the ball, and fumble on the play. It's a fumble right at the 1-yard line. And did the Badgers recover? They did! Badgers recovered it, and it's a touchdown. And I don't know who.
Chamberlain with the fumble, but the Badgers recover in the end zone.
Yeah, Chamberlain fumbled it, but we don't know who recovered that fumble. Either way, it's going to be a touchdown for the Badgers. Talk about a lucky break there for Prescott, Coach.
Well, I told you Chamberlain was going to get in one way or another. He threw the ball in for somebody else. That's all right.
That's being unselfish.
That's exactly what it is.
Brady Costas to come in with the PAT. Kick is up. And yeah, it's good, as always. All right, folks, 19 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. It's 28-0 in favor of Prescott. Let's take a 30-second timeout here on our Badger broadcast, and we'll be back with more from Bill Shepherd Field after this.
Hi, this is Clark Tenney, Superintendent of Prescott Unified School District. PUSD students receive the educational foundation they need to do great things. Will your child be the next one of our 26,000 alumni who becomes an Arizona Supreme Court Justice, Attorney General, or President of the Arizona Senate? Will they become a business owner, doctor, nurse, attorney, engineer, or teacher? Whatever their dreams, our Prescott schools will help them get started. PUSD builds great leaders. Check us out at prescottschools.com. PUSD, where every child, every day matters.
Benetone with you. Second quarter, 19 seconds left to go, and it's 28-0 Prescott. Still don't know who recovered that fumble in the end zone for the Badger touchdown. Hopefully we will find that out for you at halftime as that ball rolls into the end zone. So we'll see what Mingus can do here in the final 19 seconds of the second quarter. And, Coach, if you're Coach Midkiff of Mingus, what do you say to your guys at halftime?
Hang in there. Hey, just tell them, get spirit. Just keep fighting, guys. Just learn what you can do in this game. You learn a lot from a good team out there. Play hard. It's a learning adventure, and get after it. Play your heart out.
And, yeah. Bejarano just going to take a knee and run out the final 19 seconds here. So both teams will head into the locker room. Actually, Scott Harkness back in the KYCA studios just gave us an update here. That was Kenny Miller-Terry who recovered the fumble in the end zone for Prescott there to get that touchdown.
He's an alert kid out there. He's did a great job.
All right, so Kenny Miller-Terry with the touchdown there to make it 28-0. So halftime here, and of course they will crown the 2025 Prescott Homecoming King and Queen. And meanwhile here on our broadcast, we will have a couple interviews for you. We've got Prescott linebacker Caleb Fox as our senior spotlight interview. We're also going to hear from Layla Aurich of the Prescott volleyball team. And she'll give us an update on how that team is doing. And they're doing very well this season. As I said, 8-0 in their PowerPoint games. And they're coming off a big win over Bradshaw Mountain last night. Well, folks, break time here. And as we start our halftime show, we'll send it back to the KYCA studios. Again, we'll have those interviews with Caleb Fox, Layla Orich with you. And then we'll come back. And when we come back, I'll be joined by Kelly Cordes here for the second half. Coach Benetone, always a pleasure to have you here with us on the first half of the game broadcast.
Same, John. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
All right. So we'll have one Prescott Hall of Famer replace another here. Kelly Cordes coming in for Lou Benetone for the second half. Again, break time here on our broadcast of Prescott football. Halftime show now. We'll take a break, and we'll be back after this.
It's Badger time, folks. This is Steve Blair, Prescott High School alumni. I'm passionate about Badger football and the love of this great community. I'm also passionate about my business, Blind Brothers of Arizona, the Originals. I truly love making homes more beautiful with the best shutters, shades, and blinds. We come to you with samples and do all the measuring and installation ourselves. We've been around for 40 years, and your satisfaction is always guaranteed. So call us today for a free estimate, 776-1845. Blind Brothers Arizona, the Originals, with Arizona in our name. Go Badgers!
To another edition of Senior Spotlight. I'm John Rust, and joining me tonight, I have linebacker Caleb Fox. Caleb, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
All right, well, Caleb, last week, obviously, not the kind of game you guys wanted. Just what was your thoughts of the loss to Lee Williams?
I feel like throughout the week we weren't preparing for a great game, and we showed that during the game and throughout the week, and that we need to come together more as a team.
And, of course, for tonight, it's the homecoming game, and you've got Mingus. So just your thoughts on what it's going to take to beat the Marauders tonight.
I think it's going to take a team, that's for sure. We need to be playing well together, and if we play together, then we're going to have a good night.
All right. Well, Caleb, let's get to know you a little bit better here. First off, what got you interested in playing football?
Watching BYU football with my dad as a little kid was probably the thing that got me most interested in playing.
What other sports do you play besides football?
I do track and field.
Who is your favorite professional team?
Favorite professional team is probably the Arizona Cardinals.
What's your favorite subject in school?
I'm going to have to go with probably football PE.
What's your favorite thing about going to Prescott High School?
We have a pretty good community here. There's a lot of people to get to know, and it's a lot like family.
Who's your favorite musician or band?
I'm going to have to say Imagine Dragons.
What's your favorite movie?
Cars.
What's your favorite food?
We're going to have to go with hamburgers.
Anything particular on those hamburgers or what?
We're going to have to do grilled onions, cheese, lettuce, tomatoes.
Do you have a pregame ritual?
I like to go out on the field and say a prayer to make sure that I have God with me playing.
What do you like to do when you're not playing football?
I enjoy going dirt biking and hanging out with my friends.
And finally, what are your plans for after graduation?
I'm going to go on a 2-year mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and then I'm going to go into firefighting.
All right. Well, Caleb, I want to thank you very much for your time, and best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Prescott True Value Hardware, where we believe behind every project is a true value. Hi, I'm Suzanne Springer. There's a reason we have this slogan, because it's true. Over the years, Prescott True Value has become so much more than just a great hardware store with full-service hardware, paint, tools, outdoor living, barbecues, and don't forget the kitchen shop. We are committed to making sure you find what you want and know what to do with it. We're living the slogan here at Prescott True Value on Miller Valley Road, where we believe behind every project is a true value. Go Badgers!
To our halftime interview, where we focus on one of the other teams at Prescott High School. And tonight, we're focusing on the Prescott volleyball team. And joining me is defensive specialist Layla Aurich. Layla, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And Layla, as I'm talking to you right now, there's a little bit of, I guess, construction project going on here involving Prescott volleyball. So what can you tell us is coming for this team?
So basically, we raised over $30,000 for our program, and basically we're taking that money and redoing our mezzanine into our varsity locker room with a whole new setup, and we're really super excited, and it's honoring our seniors this year, which is super exciting, and we're very excited.
Well, speaking of things to be excited for, you ladies are now 7-0 in your PowerPoint matches. In fact, you had a really great win over Coconino on Monday night. So what has been the secret for Prescott's success so far this season?
Our team is super, super close, and I think us being family is a big part in it. And so we always have each other's back, and it never lets us get down and under ourselves because we're always here for each other. And I think that's a big part of us winning is because we're very, very close, and we put a lot of time into each other. And these past few weekends, we've had a lot of tournaments, which have been very helpful towards our skills and coming and playing our region games, which is super exciting. But I feel like us being close as a team is the biggest impact for our streak right now.
And talk about those tournaments, because you've had 2 tournaments, including one last weekend, the Epic Tourneys tournament, where it's just game after game after game. So I know it's got to be exhausting, but how worthwhile is it to have all those matches under your belts?
So we basically play 5A and 6A schools, which is like very important because it makes us so much better. The reps are just very useful. And so when we go to these tournaments, these schools make us so much better on like making us closer, making us faster to the ball. And so when we come back from a tournament, we usually do much better towards teams we usually play. So these tournaments are very important to us. So Bernie's definitely helps us with getting into a lot of those, and they're super fun as well because this one we just had was at ASU, and that was the most fun tournament we've had so far because the amount of teams we've played, and we also saw Bradshaw and Flagstaff there, and we got to watch them too. So we have a good count on how they do as well. So that's good and useful.
Up to this point in the season, what do you think has been the most impressive victory for Prescott?
Honestly, just sweeping every game we have. We usually take it into 4 to 5 sets usually. Like, that's like the normal amount of sets, but recently we've only lost 1 set so far out of our 7 games. So that's the most impressive, is just sweeping each team.
All right, well, Layla, I want to thank you very much for joining us here on our halftime show tonight, and best of luck to the Lady Badgers the rest of the way.
Perfect, thank you so much.
This is Steve Seshka with Olson's for Healthy Animals. Trust is a word that is rarely applied to certain areas of our society, nationally and locally. I'm sure you know what I mean. However, trust is what people do have when they vote a business the best of. Olson's has been voted the best of by the readers of not one, but 2 trusted media sources, the Daily Courier and Prescott Living in 2024. Both were for the best pet supply. There's a reason why our motto is good enough just isn't. We don't take you for granted. We're proud to constantly earn your business.
At Yavapai Exceptional Industries, we're constantly improving products, processes, and outcomes. And now, good people of the Central Highlands, we're bringing on drone surveillance. Drone surveillance of your backyard. And if you're not outfitted with patio furniture made at Yavapai Exceptional Industries, well, get with the program, people. YEIWorks.com. Place your order now and book a tour while you're at it. It'll make your day.
And we are back here at Prescott's Bill Shepherd Field. John Rust, and now joined by Kelly Cordes. And before I get to, my second half partner here, I want to give a thanks to Caleb Fox, our senior spotlight interview for tonight. And also I want to give thanks to Layla Ulrich from the Prescott volleyball team, our halftime interview. By the way, Layla Ulrich will be among the members of the Prescott volleyball team, joining me in the studio tomorrow morning at 8:06 for the Tri-City Sports Roundup. And going to have a lot to talk about with that volleyball team, especially after last night's big win over Bradshaw Mountain that saw Prescott go down 2-1. And the Badgers come back, win set number 4 by 2 points, and then they take the 5th and deciding set by 3 points. And Kelly, as I said in my recap of it on KYCA this morning, and actually you can hear that recap on our website, kyca.info. Just click on the news link there. It was about as Prescott versus Bradshaw Mountain as Prescott versus Bradshaw Mountain can get.
Man, that's almost a reverse set sweep.
Basically, yeah. Just an incredible performance there by Prescott, and give it up to Bradshaw Mountain too, because they put up a heck of a fight against the Badgers as well, and almost took that match from them.
Well, kudos to the Badger volleyball team.
Yeah.
You know, you just never know what's going to happen especially in high school sports.
Exactly, and look what we got going on in high school sports right now. A 28-0 lead, Prescott over Mingus. And Kelly, you were sitting out there in the stands the first half, and I can imagine your thoughts might have mirrored mine, where I said, this is a complete 180 from the Prescott team we saw last week.
Oh, most definitely. We're running the football. We only had 104 yards of rushing offense last week in Kingman. Quite a bit different tonight.
Exactly, and also we're seeing the offensive line, doing what we saw the offensive line do a couple of weeks ago against Northwest Christian, opening up huge gaps for guys like Jacob Chamberlain and Braylon Johnson.
Yeah, obviously the offensive strength this year for the Badgers is the running game, and the Badgers just didn't have it going last week like we did the second half against Thunderbird a couple weeks ago, and then, of course, also a couple weeks ago, the whole game that we had going against Northwest Christian. And tonight is a repeat of those games, being able – I know you keep some stats. I didn't keep any stats the first half, John, but we've got to have at least a couple hundred yards in rushing, I would think.
I have got right now Jacob Chamberlain around 170 rushing yards. I got Braylon Johnson with 81 rushing yards. I think Trace Overton has a couple. So you combine those, and that means I got to do math in my head. And it's a lot. It's over 200 yards.
Yeah,
over.
You're talking about 250.
Right around there.
Right around there, yeah.
Thanks, Kelly. You do math in your head a lot better than I do.
So, but, you know, we were talking before getting on the air here, right during the halftime. You were talking about how shorthanded Mingus is tonight. And you almost, teams that are this shorthanded, either through injury or sometimes people are not ineligibility, and you kind of feel for those teams. You just hope that those players can stay motivated enough to give an all-out effort.
That's right. By the way, folks, tonight is homecoming, and the homecoming king and queen were announced. And congratulations to Carter Baldridge and Sierra DeVries, the 2025 Prescott Homecoming King and Queen. And also, we had another special ceremony prior to the game where the first ever PUSD Distinguished Alumni were honored. Prescott Unified School District will now have an Alumni Hall of Fame. And boy, oh boy, talk about a great crop for the inaugural class. Well, first off, close to KYCA's heart, we have former Arizona Senate President and former Arizona Secretary of State Ken Bennett, who got in there. And of course, Ken Bennett, he hosts our KYCA Talks show every Tuesday morning. Also, local businessman Michael Phan, he's in there. Former State Supreme Court Chief Justice Robert Brutinel, one of the distinguished alumni honored prior to the game. And actually, his son, Daniel Brutinel, was a great lineman here for Prescott High School back when Coach Benetone coached the team. Also, another honoree we had was Ernest A. Love. Of course, that's who the airport is named after. World War I pilot Patty Rummage.
By the way, Ernest Love was a really good football player. He was an all-state football player, 1914.
I remember him being, well, I don't say remember, but I knew he was a football player. I didn't realize he was an all-state football player.
Yes, he was. Yep, he was a good athlete.
Yeah, and of course, Patty Rummage, a former teacher here, she was also inducted into that Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame, along with current Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays. So a great crop for the first Distinguished Alumni Awards.
Did you mention Fiorella LaGuardia?
No, I thank you, Kelly. I thought, it's like, am I forgetting one more? Yes, the mayor of New York City from the 30s was a graduate of Prescott High School.
In the fall of 1937, you know, that was before the high school was built down on Granite Creek. That first fall that building was used was the fall of 1939. But anytime the high school had an assembly, they had to meet over at the fairgrounds. And in the fall of 1937, Prescott High School had an assembly, and the main speaker was the mayor of New York City. Fiorella LaGuardia came back to Prescott. This town has a great history. I could talk all night about it.
Yeah. And, I mean, that was at a time when coming from New York to Arizona wasn't all that easy either.
Had to come out here by train.
I thought so. All right. Well, hey, folks, we're going to take a break here on our halftime show. We're going to take a 1-minute break. We'll come back. We'll get you ready for the second half of action between Prescott and Mingus for Homecoming 2025. Badgers up 28-0 here. So we'll take a 1-minute break. We'll be back with more right after this.
Exceptional Community Hospital Prescott is now open. Prescott's newest state-of-the-art hospital provides 24/7 emergency care, featuring private, spacious inpatient rooms and on-site radiology, lab, and pharmacy services. We accept all insurance plans and honor in-network benefits for emergency care. With minimal to no ER wait times, you can trust us to deliver the exceptional care you deserve. Exceptional Community Hospital Prescott is located at 4822 State Highway 69. Learn more at www.ehc24.com.
Hi, this is Clark Tenney, Superintendent of Prescott Unified School District. PUSD students receive the educational foundation they need to do great things. Will your child be the next one of our 26,000 alumni who becomes an Arizona Supreme Court Justice, Attorney General, or President of the Arizona Senate? Will they become a business owner, doctor, nurse, attorney, engineer, or teacher? Whatever their dreams, our Prescott schools will help them get started. PUSD builds great leaders. Check us out at prescottschools.com. PUSD, where every child, every day matters.
And we are back here at Prescott High School. John Rust and Kelly Cord is with you. You're listening to Badger Football in the News, 1490 AM, 103.5 FM, KYCA, Prescott, Arizona, USA. You know, we talked about the inaugural class for the Prescott Unified School District Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame. But we would be remiss if we didn't talk about another Hall of Fame involving, well, I'm just going to say one of the best coaches to ever coach in Yavapai County, probably one of the best coaches in Arizona sports history, period. And that, of course, is former Yavapai College men's soccer coach Mike Pantaleone, who led the Rough Riders to 7 junior college national championships. Coach Pantaleone, Kelly, this week it was announced he has been voted into the Italian American Sports Hall of Fame.
Great honor. There's some pretty well-known people also in that Hall of Fame, as in Jerry Colangelo.
Jerry Colangelo, and I mean, talk about being a good company. Jerry Colangelo, Joe DiMaggio, Yogi Berra, Vince Lombardi.
Yeah. So he's in pretty good company now.
And and I think this is about the 4th or 5th Hall of Fame that Coach Pantaleone has been inducted into.
Now, you already mentioned 7 national titles. They were also runner-up 6 times. So, I mean, he had a phenomenal record at Yavapai College.
What was it, 636 wins in his career, which is the most ever for any junior college soccer coach.
Yeah.
Well, whatever other Hall of Fames he can get himself into, I think he should be in them. Like I said, I think he's in about 5 or 6 different ones. I know he's in the NJCAA Hall of Fame, the NJCAA Soccer Hall of Fame, also the ACCAC Hall of Fame as well.
Yes. And he's one of those coaches that the reason he was so successful is he paid attention to big-time detail. That just seems like all your great coaches from Nick Saban on down the line, they just really paid attention to detail and were highly organized.
Yeah.
That's one of the common denominators of good coaching.
I'm going to tell you something, Kelly. You know, we talk about Hall of Fames. I think every once in a while I mention this, and I think it would be a really good idea if someone out there or a bunch of someones would form a Yavapai County Sports Hall of Fame. You know, we already got a Hall of Fame for Prescott High School, Bradshaw Mountain High School, Chino Valley has one, Embry-Riddle has one, Yavapai College has one. But if we do like a whole Yavapai County Sports Hall of Fame, imagine the kind of people who would go into that.
Yeah, there'd be now, my question is, the town of Williams close enough to the Yavapai County line?
You know, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, Kelly. Williams is not in Yavapai County, so.
But the player I'm thinking about,
Billy Hatcher
went to Yavapai,
and he would, as far as I'm concerned, he would be eligible if you go to Yavapai College or Embry-Riddle. That's in Yavapai County. You're eligible.
I think Hatcher spent at least 10 years that I know of in Major League Baseball.
I think actually a little more, and I mean, he got around too, and he was a big part of that 1990 Cincinnati Reds World Championship team. He was on the 86 Houston Astros team that had that great playoff series with the Mets. Actually, Billy Hatcher also spent a little bit of time with my Philadelphia Phillies. Not a whole lot, but a little bit.
Well, by the way, the Diamondbacks are behind in the bottom of the 5th to the Padres 5-2.
Kelly, I kind of hate to say it, but I think Arizona's chances of making the playoffs this year are slim and none at this point.
Well, but I will tell you that if they win tonight, there is a three-way tie.
Ooh.
Because the Mets got beat today.
Ooh.
The Reds won, but the Mets got beaten in Miami. Got beat by the Marlins. So if they able to come back and win this game, there's a three-way tie.
So kind of stealing Jim Carrey's classic line from Dumb and Dumber. So what you're saying is there's still a chance.
There's still a chance. Amen.
Well, speaking of scores, folks, over on our other station, the team 1450 AM KNOT, we've got the ASU TCU game there, and right now, third quarter just got underway. TCU 17, ASU 14.
And you know, ASU was down in the second quarter 17 to nothing, and ended up scoring a couple touchdowns mainly because of a turnover within the last 7 minutes of the ball game.
And we also have another score to report for you from Bullhead City at halftime. Bradshaw Mountain, well, not a blowout like they had last week against this Mingus team across from us. Bradshaw Mountain 14, Mojave 7, and that's actually where we're going to be next week over at the Fieldhouse. And Kelly, I may not be looking forward to the long trip over to Bullhead City, but I am very anxious to see that field house because I have never been in there before, and everyone I talked to said that is a really, really nice facility they have over there at Mojave High School.
Well, you and I've never been in there either, so we have something to look forward to.
Yeah, going to be a big treat for us. Again, not looking forward to the trip, looking forward to the field house. So again, Bradshaw 14, Mojave 7, and we'll see what Coach Bob Young's crew can do over there. Coach Bob Young, the former longtime coach for Mingus High School. And, of course, he led them to the 1997 state championship. And one of the guys on that state championship team was their head coach now, Aaron Midkiff.
I will tell you that in the history of Yavapai County, that is the only 11-man football state championship team in the history of this county.
Well, you know, Kelly, we talked about a Yavapai County Sports Hall of Fame. Bob Young would definitely be in it.
And no doubt about that.
All right, well, Prescott going to kick it away here to start the third quarter of play. John Rust, Kelly Court is with you. Mingus trailing 28-0. Braylon Johnson with 2 touchdown runs. Jacob Chamberlain, a touchdown run. Kenny Miller-Terry recovered a fumble in the end zone for a touchdown. Here comes a run back for the Marauders. Oh, man, and an absolute locomotive collision there between number 3, Andre Joy, and trying to see who the Badger was who got the hit there. And actually,
number 42.
Yeah, that was Caleb Fox, our senior spotlight. He actually looks like he took the worst of that hit. He was a little slow to get up.
But he's actually jogging off the field now, so he's okay.
Probably get, actually trainer Trent James is out there. He'll look him over, maybe do a little concussion protocol just to be on the safe side. But Mingus, well, they will start this drive 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line. Bejarano keeps the ball himself. He runs up to the far side, and he gets knocked down by number 24, Noble Ortega.
Just a regular quarterback run going around the left end. It did pick up about 3 yards, going to bring up 2nd down 7 for the Marauders at their own 26-yard line.
Now, Bejarano, 33 receiving yard, or 33 passing yards, I should say, for him tonight. And Mingus still getting lined up. Remington Stokes dashing out to the near side. Bejarano drops back, throws to the far side, and trying to make the catch on his knees was the intended receiver for Mingus. And it looks like that was number 20, William Latcher. Latcher normally number 75.
And defending on the play was, again, Noble Ortega, who was right on the receiver and really caused that pass to be incomplete.
Noble Ortega, who last week versus Lee Williams racked up 11 tackles. 3rd and 7 now for the Marauders with 10:32 left to go in the third quarter. 28-0, Badgers on top. Joy in motion for Mingus. And under pressure is Bejarano. He throws the ball. And good defense there by Prescott's number 25, Kelani Robles. And that'll go down as an incompletion. And Mingus will have to punt the ball away.
Good pass rush there by the Badger defensive front, causing the quarterback to get rid of the ball sooner than he wanted to.
Kingston Douthit back to return the punt for Prescott. Remington Stokes will put his foot into it. Low snap. Punt almost got blocked, but Stokes gets it off. And that one is just going to bounce up to about the 32-yard line.
Was not that good of a punt, but the ball rolled about 20 yards after it hit the turf. And the Badgers will take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
It's a cool but a very nice night here in Prescott. And tell you what, Kelly, the way the weather was this morning and into early this afternoon, it was kind of doubtful we were going to have nice weather here for the homecoming game.
Well, I kept looking at the Weather Channel, and they said it was going to be clearing off at about 6:30, which it did.
Yeah, Weather Channel, right. Thank you very much. Run going up to the far side for Prescott. Some great blocking there. And it looks like that was number 77, Bo Bryce, with some great blocking there. And I believe that was Braylon Johnson.
Yep.
And Johnson going to pick up a big first down. Again, he just had a great block there by Elijah Carr, just knocking bodies out of the way there.
Gain of 14 yards on that run.
Johnson in motion. Heffron rolling out, short throw, and it's caught by Eli Allen. Allen upended by number 5, and that is Brian Moreno. And Allen looks like he got into Mingus territory.
Yeah, quarterback James Heffron rolling out to his left, hit the tight end, number 84, Eli Allen.
6-yard pickup there. Only the 4th throw of the game for Heffron. Give is to Johnson, and Johnson bursts through the middle. He's got another good gap, and Johnson picking up a first down.
Pickup of about 5 yards, enough for a first down. Badgers have it in Marauder territory at the Marauder 43-yard line.
Well, Braylon Johnson now going over the century mark in rushing yards. Both him and Jacob Chamberlain, 100-plus yards tonight. Heffron keeps the ball. Short throw. Oh, and it's bobbled by number 34 of Prescott, Pace Norman, but we get a flag thrown on the play just as Norman was bobbling the ball.
I think that was an incompleted pass. The officials are ruling that it was a fumble.
Yeah.
But I actually think that was an incomplete pass. Of course, what do I know?
And again, we also have a flag on the play, and that came in right around when Heffron passed the ball. So we'll see what the dealio is here. And while the officials are talking things over, folks, I will remind you that tonight's Badger football game is sponsored in part by Exceptional Community Hospital, Prescott's newest state-of-the-art hospital and 24/7 emergency service on Highway 69. Your community, your hospital.
They waved the flag off and then went ahead and ruled that it was an incomplete pass.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 now for Prescott. They have the ball at the Marauder 43-yard line. 2 receivers out to the near side for the Badgers, moving right to left across your radio dial. Here's a give to Johnson. Johnson going up the middle, and Johnson still on his feet, rolls around a couple of tackles, rolls off a couple of tackles, and now gets taken down at the 33-yard line. Another great hole opened up by the offensive line, and some good running there by Braylon Johnson, shrugging off some tackles and picking up another big first down for Prescott.
10-yard gain. Badgers have it at the Marauder 33-yard line. 1st and 10.
Heffron from the gun. This time he hands it off to Jacob Chamberlain. Chamberlain bounces off a couple of tackles. Oh, we got a red flag on the play now. What the heck?
I think that was some kind of a handkerchief that came off of one of the Mingus Marauders, because that was a red. By the way, years ago, the referees did have red flags, not yellow flags.
So that will be a first down there for Prescott.
Another 10-yard gain, the ball sitting at the Marauder 23-yard line.
8:28 left to go here in the third quarter, 28-0. Badgers on top, looking to increase their lead over Mingus. Heffron keeps the ball. Throw to the end zone. It's caught by Kenny Miller-Terry, and it's a touchdown by KMT.
Yeah, Kenny Miller-Terry just beat the cornerback, the Marauder cornerback, into the end zone, and quarterback James Heffron threw a strike to him, and it's another Badger touchdown.
For Kenny Miller-Terry, his second TD of the night. He was actually in the end zone when the Badgers fumbled the ball and was able to fall on it for the score. And now a 23-yard touchdown pass. James Heffron to KMT. And here's Brady Costas for the extra point.
Over to DeHoe. Costas the kick.
Kick is up. What? No good.
Yeah, I think it was wide left.
Oh, Brady Costas is actually human. Well, Brady Costas' first missed extra point of the season. Well, it was bound to happen, but Prescott now up 34-0 thanks to that touchdown pass Heffron to KMT. Let's take a 30-second break. We'll be back with more from Bill Shepherd Field after this.
Prescott True Value Hardware, where we believe behind every project is a true value. Hi, I'm Suzanne Springer. There's a reason we have this slogan, because it's true. Over the years, Prescott True Value has become so much more than just a great hardware store with full-service hardware, paint, tools, outdoor living, barbecues, and don't forget the kitchen shop. We are committed to making sure you find what you want and know what to do with it. We're living the slogan here at Prescott True Value on Miller Valley Road, where we believe behind every project is a true value. Go Badgers!
Back here at Bill Shepherd Field, Brady Costas kicking that one away, and that'll land in the end zone. And, well, Kelly, you know, the last episode of Star Trek The Next Generation was called All Good Things, which, of course, must come to an end. And, well, the perfect PAT streak for Brady Costas came to an end just now.
Yeah, and you wonder sometimes if it's not totally the kicker's fault. Sometimes it's the snap back to the holder. Sometimes it's the holder, and all kinds of things can happen, causing the kicker to miss an extra point or a field goal attempt.
But you know what, Kelly? Here we are, game number 5 of the season, and it's Brady Costas' first missed extra point attempt. Bejarano gives the ball, looks like, to Remington Stokes. And I'll tell you, the Badgers were ready and waiting for Stokes. He didn't get too far on that run.
Looks like they're going to give him a yard. The ball at the Marauder 21-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 9.
Remington Stokes just 14 yards on the ground tonight for the Marauders. 2 receivers out to either side now. Actually, no, it's going to be trips out to the near side for Mingus, and 2 receivers out to the far side. Bejarano all by himself. He's going to keep the ball. He gets a nice little gap there, and he slides to the 25-yard line. And hurdling the sliding Bejarano was number 25 for Prescott, Robles.
Pickup of about 3. Going to bring up 3rd down and 6. Ball sitting at the Marauder 24. How shorthanded is Mingus tonight? I count only 8 players over on the sideline with helmets on.
I think there are about 8 or 9 players. Well, it's either injury, illness, or ineligibility, the 3 I's. Big throw there by Bejarano, a wobbling pass, and that one falls to the ground at about the 40-yard line. And talk about a wounded duck of a pass there, Kelly.
Well, Dante DeCourt, number 75, defensive end for the Badgers, really put a lot of heat on the Marauder quarterback, number 15, Hunter Bejarano. And he had to, again, throw the ball sooner than he wanted to. 4th down, 4th and 6.
And the Marauders will be punting the ball away. Back to return, Kingston Douthit. And that one bounces at the 50-yard line. That's going to roll to the 36-yard line.
Ends up being a decent punt. Again, once the ball hit the turf, it rolled about another 15 yards. Badgers are going to take over on their own 37-yard line.
While we got some time here, folks, we remind you that tonight's Prescott football game brought to you in part by Olson's for Healthy Animals, where good enough just isn't, with locations in Prescott, Chino, Dewey, Flagstaff, and the Verde Valley. James Heffron from the gun. 2 receivers out to the far side. Give is to Jacob Chamberlain. Chamberlain sweeping up to the far side. He gets a nice little gap, and he's brought down. Oh, fumble on the play! And Mingus recovers. Ball just popped out of Chambo's hands, rolled past the 40-yard line, and Mingus fell on it.
And it looks like Chamberlain's getting up a little bit slow. He had actually gained about 15 yards, and as he was being tackled, the ball came out, and the Marauders have it 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
I think that might have been Brian Moreno who recovered the fumble. I'm not 100% sure, though. So now the Mingus offense right back out on the field, and there is the pitch to Stokes. Oh, man, and Stokes gets slammed into the ground by Rutger Funk. Rutger Funk bringing down the funk. Oh, man.
You like that last name, don't you?
Hey, man, George Clinton in the Parliament, man.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everyone on the mothership is cheering Rutger Funk right now.
No gain.
Oh.
Thanks to Mr. Funk. 2nd down and 10. Again, the ball at the Marauder 39-yard line.
Yeah, Prescott fans right now, they are loving the funk. Bejarano looking, throwing, and incomplete, intended for Cameron Houseman. However, Gunnar Parra reached out, tried to get a hand on that ball.
And the Badger defending the receiver was number 25, Robles.
By the way, Gunnar Parra last week versus Williams, 10 tackles. He had 35 tackles for the season, at least coming into tonight's contest. 5:41 left to go in quarter number 3. It's 34-0, Prescott over Mingus.
3rd and 10 coming up from the Marauder 39.
Tell you what a difference a week makes for the Badgers. Bejarano being pursued and Bejarano being sacked. And that is number 72 for Prescott. Drew Roberts putting the hurt on Hunter Bejarano.
And Gunnar Parra was also in on that stop. The Marauder quarterback rolled out to his right looking downfield, and he just didn't have time to look for anybody to be open as the Badger defensive front really exercised a very good pass rush on that play. So 4th down, 4th and about 15 for the Marauders.
Remington Stokes will punt the ball away. And again, it will be Kingston Douthit to return. High up in the air, and Douthit will catch it around the 40-yard line. Brings it past the 40, and out the 45. Douthat going out to the far side, makes a turn. He's at the 50-yard line, past the 50, and then hurled into the ground by one of the Marauder defenders. And we get a flag come flying in right before Douthat hits the turf.
Yeah, you almost wonder if there was a face mask penalty on that play. We'll see exactly. The officials are discussing the play right now. We'll find out from the head referee what the call is.
Well, Kelly Cordes is looking at that one. Folks, I want to remind you that tonight's Badger football game brought to you in part by Prescott Unified School District. Every child, every day. The Badgers' biggest fans. Visit PrescottSchools.com.
Going to be a block in the back, John, against the Badgers. Going to be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Badgers will start 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line.
Prescott on top, 34-0, 4:38 left to go in the third quarter of the homecoming game. Phillips in motion. Heffron going to hand that one off to Braylon Johnson, looks like, and Johnson, well, he gets a couple of yards.
Just a run over left tackle. Picked up 4 yards. Going to bring up 2nd down and 6. Ball sitting at the Badger 44. Excuse me, 43. The official moved the ball back a yard.
2 receivers out to the near side for the Badgers. Heffron gets the ball. Throws and caught by Phillips. Phillips down the sidelines. Phillips avoids one tackle. Still on his feet at the sidelines and taken out at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, number 8, Nicholas Phillips, lined up as a wide receiver, and nobody picked him up out into the left flat. He was wide open, and he ends up advancing the ball all the way down to the Mingus Marauder 29-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 Badgers.
And a great play there by Phillips to catch the ball, and now we get a whistle blown here. Doesn't look like it's a timeout. It looked like the head referee was saying something to James Heffron. Not 100% sure what that might have been, but anyway, back to action. Phillips in motion, and there is the give, and I think that's Johnson with the ball, and Johnson just gets dog-piled on.
He does pick up 5, though. Ran the ball right up the middle. Again, a good job by the Badger offensive line. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 5. Ball sitting at the Marauder 24.
Kenny Miller-Terry going out to the far side for the Badgers. Looks like that's Johnson standing behind Heffron in the gun. Now Johnson. Well, now we're going to get a timeout here, and it looks like a little confusion on the play, so Coach Collette calls a timeout to get things straightened out. You know, I mentioned tonight it was homecoming, and Kelly, when I had Coach Benetton in here for the first half, he mentioned that not sure exactly what year it was, but there was one year where Prescott was the homecoming opponent for about 3 other schools, and they scheduled Prescott because the year before they didn't have such a great season. And, well, what a difference a year makes, because all 3 of those homecoming games Prescott was the opponent in, they beat that school.
Yeah, Coach Benetton must have really used the transfer portal to change his fortunes.
Did anyone back then even know what a transfer portal was? Oh, man. All right, back to action here. 2nd and 6 for the Badgers with 2:38 left to go in the third stanza. Johnson with the ball. Johnson breaks free from a couple tackles. He goes up to the far side. Johnson the 10. Johnson the 5 making the turn. And Johnson, did he get in the end zone? He did! A touchdown for Braylon Johnson.
24-yard sweep around right end. He did avoid a tackle. got out of it, and from there took it to the house.
And Johnson looked like he had to really do some tightrope walking there around the far sidelines to stay in bounds, get in the end zone, and now Johnson with 3 touchdown runs tonight, and we've got a Mingus player down on the field. Might be cramps there, Kelly.
I think it is cramps. It's number 6 for the Marauders,
and
Tristan Tim.
And Tristan Tim was the one who had that great kick return. And actually now he's walking off under his own power. So, yeah, I think you're right, Kelly. I think it's just cramps. So I'm sure we'll see Tim back in the game a little later. Braylon Johnson with his 3rd touchdown run tonight. Brady Costas. Well, we'll try to get a new PAT streak going here. He missed his last attempt. First missed PAT of the season. Kick is up. And Brady Costas puts it through the uprights.
No doubt about that one.
So with 2:29 left to go in the 3rd quarter, it's now a 41-0 lead. Badgers over the Marauders here at homecoming. We'll take a 30-second break and be back with more right after this.
Exceptional Community Hospital Prescott is now open. Prescott's newest state-of-the-art hospital provides 24/7 emergency care, featuring private, spacious inpatient rooms and on-site radiology, lab, and pharmacy services. We accept all insurance plans and honor in-network benefits for emergency care. With minimal to no ER wait times, you can trust us to deliver the exceptional care you deserve. Exceptional Community Hospital Prescott is located at 4822 State Highway 69. Learn more at www.ehc24.com.
And we are back here at Bill Shepherd Field. John Rust, Kelly Court is with you. It is 41-0. Badgers on top. Braylon Johnson, a 24-yard touchdown run. His 3rd TD run of the night. And Kelly, I think we're getting into running clock territory here.
Well, I know it's 42. I'm not totally familiar with the rule, but I know there's a 42-point rule, so I don't know if that applies to a 41-point lead or not.
Well, running the kick back was number 3, Andre Joy, and Joy gets taken down just prior to the 20-yard line. By the way, a score update from Tempe with 21 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. TCU up over Arizona State 24-17. Heck of a battle down there in Tempe.
That does not surprise me. We knew that was going to be a heck of a game tonight.
And we'll also try to get a score here on the Bradshaw Mountain Mojave game.
By the way, the Marauders will have it 1st and 10 after the kickoff. They have the ball at their own 18-yard line.
Give you that score update from Bullhead City after this play. 1st and 10 from the 18 for the Marauders. And Bejarano looks like he's ready to go. 2 receivers out to either side. Bejarano with the throw down the far side. Leaping, almost catch there by the receiver, so that'll be an incompletion. All right, folks, 3rd quarter over at Bullhead City. Bradshaw Mountain pulling away from Mojave. It is now 31-14 Bears over the Thunderbirds.
Kingston Douthit was right on the wide receiver for the Marauders, causing that pass to be incomplete.
Kingston Douthit last week, 10 tackles versus Lee Williams. Again, 2 receivers to either side for Mingus, as we're under a minute left to go here in the 3rd quarter. And still on his feet with the ball is Dawson Rice, and Rice gets taken down by Rutger Frunk, who once again brings down the funk.
Yeah, run around right end. It did manage to pick up 4 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 6. Ball sitting at the Marauder 22-yard line.
Eugene Lowe now coming in to play defense for Prescott. Bejarano from the gun. There's the handoff. That's Rice again. This time the Badgers were ready for Rice. And man, oh man, Drew Roberts putting a couple of wrestling moves there on Rice and taking him down at the 20.
He just moved the offensive lineman out of the way and went in and made the tackle.
And that is how the third quarter will end here at Prescott High School. Our score, Prescott 41, Mingus nothing. We'll take a break here and we'll be back with quarter number 4 right after this.
At Yavapai Exceptional Industries, we're constantly improving products, processes, and outcomes. And now, good people of the Central Highlands, we're bringing on drone surveillance. Drone surveillance of your backyard. And if you're not outfitted with patio furniture made at Yavapai Exceptional Industries, well, get with the program, people. YEIWorks.com. Place your order now and book a tour while you're at it. It'll make your day.
And we're back here at Bill Shepherd Field. John Rust, Kelly Cordes. Kelly, you got a scoring update here.
Yeah, the Mercury beat the Lynx 84-76 tonight.
And that's the WNBA semifinals, too.
Exactly.
And hopefully Kelly can get us an update on the Diamondbacks and how they're doing. As Mingus now 4th and 7. And they'll be punting the ball away here again. Marauders trail 41-0. Mingus in danger of being shut out for the second week in a row. Low snap, and it goes through the legs of Remington Stokes. He's going to try to run the ball. Badgers pursue him. Stokes at the 10, and Stokes tripped up at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, again, one of those things where it was not the kicker's fault. It was a bad snap. The long snapper did not get the snap all the way back to the punter.
Yeah.
And the Badgers are actually going to take over deep in Mingus territory.
I think they're going to say the 17-yard line there, Kelly.
Yeah, you're right. Badgers will have it 1st and 10 from that spot.
Well, a score here, and I think we will go into running clock. So 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line after a botched snap on the punt there for Mingus. Heffron just hands the ball off to Chamberlain. He spins off a tackle, gets taken down at the 15-yard line. Pick up about 2. So, Kelly, you got a score there for the Diamondbacks game?
6-2. It's in the top of the 7th inning.
And
1 out, nobody on.
And Diamondbacks trailing?
Trailing 6-2, yep. The Padres scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th. Then picked up another run in the bottom of the 5th.
2nd and 8. And there's the give to Chamberlain, and Chamberlain gets taken down just shy of the 10-yard line. Actually, Trace Overton now taking the snaps for Prescott.
Gonna bring up about 3rd and 4. Ball sitting at about the 13-yard line of Mingus.
Jacob Chamberlain, who last year was an all-region honorable mention. Wouldn't be surprised to see him get an all-region first-team selection this year for Prescott, the way he's going. And there's a give to Chambo again. Chamberlain making the turn at the 10-yard line, tripped up and then rolls at about the 5-yard line. And let's see, that might be good enough for a first down. We'll see it is.
Yeah, they're going to mark it at the 6-yard line, so that's where it'll be 1st and goal.
Jacob Chamberlain closing in on 200 rushing yards tonight. 9:47 left to go in quarter number 4. Overton from the gun. Chamberlain behind him. The give is to Chamberlain, and Chamberlain gets stopped immediately by the Mingus defense. That was number 52, Landon Backus, and they were just waiting right there for Chamberlain. He maybe took about 2 steps, and Mingus dropped him.
Yeah, the defensive front for Mingus penetrated that play very well. And actually, the play goes for a 2-yard loss. It's going to bring up second down and goal. Ball sitting at the Mingus 8-yard line.
Heffron back in at QB. He gives the ball to Chamberlain. Chamberlain up the middle. And again, the Marauders just swarm on Chamberlain, take him to the ground. Again, leading the charge there for Mingus, number 52, Landon Backus.
Yeah, loss of about 3. Now it's going to be third and goal. The ball sitting at the 13-yard line.
Boy, oh boy, Mingus really starting to key in on Jacob Chamberlain here. 8:25 remaining in regulation. Two receivers to either side now for the Marauders. Looks like we got Braylon Johnson in now. A throw by Heffron, and it's caught. And turning is Nick Phillips, and Phillips gets to about the 3-yard line.
Phillips just going out into the flat over towards the Mingus sideline, caught the ball and picked up about 8-9 yards. It's going to be fourth down at the 4-yard line.
And, of course, the Badgers going to go for it here. Heffron in the gun. Give is to Chamberlain. Chamberlain makes the turn, and Chamberlain just scoots into the end zone for the touchdown.
Chamberlain did a good job. He saw the hole over right tackle close, and he just headed to the towards the sideline and outran the defense and basically walked into the end zone.
Second touchdown of the night for Chambo. And now Brady Costas will kick the PAT. Trace Overton to hold. 47-0 now, pending the extra point attempt by Costas. And now they're waiting for Rutger Funk to join the party here. How can you have a party without the funk?
Yeah, you definitely like that name.
I'm going to have to go, and when I go home tonight, I'm going to have to listen to We Want the Funk by George Clinton in the Parliament for sure. Kick by Costas is good. 48-0 the score. Prescott in command with 7:27 left to go in the fourth quarter. Let's take a break here on our broadcast of Prescott football. We'll be back in 30 seconds right after this.
Prescott True Value Hardware, where we believe behind every project is a true value. Hi, I'm Suzanne Springer. There's a reason we have this slogan, because it's true. Over the years, Prescott True Value has become so much more than just a great hardware store with full-service hardware, paint, tools, outdoor living, barbecues, and don't forget the kitchen shop. We are committed to making sure you find what you want and know what to do with it. We're living the slogan here at Prescott True Value on Miller Valley Road, where we believe behind every project is a true value. Go Badgers!
Welcome back to Bill Shepherd Field. John Rust and Kelly Court is here. 48-0 the score. Jacob Chamberlain with his second touchdown run of the night for the Badgers. And Brady Costas getting ready to kick this one away for Prescott. High end over end kick, and here comes the return by the Marauders. I believe that's Tim with it. Tim spins around. I think that's actually Remington Stokes who returned that one. He gets up to about the 30-yard line.
First and 10 Marauders at their own 30 after the kickoff. And we do have running clock now.
All right, folks. Also, we have Prescott football sponsored in part tonight by Blind Brothers Arizona and Badger alum Steve Blair, offering premier window treatments in northern Arizona since 1979. Also, Exceptional Community Hospital, Prescott's newest state-of-the-art hospital and 24/7 emergency service on Highway 69. Your community, your hospital. And we thank all of our Prescott football sponsors. Without them, we would not be able to bring you tonight's game, which Prescott leads 48-0. 6:38 and counting to go here in the game. And Kelly, definitely the kind of game Prescott needed after last week. It looks like Prescott is back to playing the kind of Prescott football we're used to.
Yes. You got to get the running game going. That's the Badgers' strength.
Throw by Bejarano, and it skips off the fingers of number 35, Marshall Maddox, and also skipped off the fingers of the intended receiver, Andre Joy.
Going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Again, the ball at the Marauder 30-yard line.
And also, as Kelly said, running clock, 5:50 and counting here in regulation. As the Badgers, well, they will be getting a win on homecoming night, and you always want to get the win on homecoming night.
There you go.
I mean, you want to win all the time, of course, but you definitely don't want to lose on homecoming. Big throw to the near side, and Stokes with the catch. Stokes stumbles at the 30-yard line. Great catch there by Remington Stokes.
And it was a good pass by quarterback Bejarano. Play went from the 30-yard line all the way down to the Badger 25. 45-yard pass play. 1st and 10 Marauders.
Well, the Marauders, I think at the very most, they don't want to get shut out for the 2nd week in a row. They want to try to get some points on the board and try to build up a little positive energy as they get ready to face Coconino next week up in Cottonwood. Bejarano scrambling, he fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by the Marauders. And that was number 73, Jordan Watson, who fell on, and he'll keep this drive alive. But now the Marauders have the ball back at the 40-yard line.
That fumble caused a loss on the play of 15 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 25.
Yeah, great pressure brought on quarterback Bejarano, and as he was running, the ball just slipped out of his hands. But good heads-up play by Watson to keep the ball for Mingus. Bejarano dropping back. He's got some good protection. He throws. Leaping catch is intercepted! Intercepted by number 23, Kingston Douthit.
And number 3, Andre Joy, the wide receiver, it did deflect off of his hands and right into the hands of the Badger, number 23, Kingston Douthit. So the Badgers get the ball right back.
That has got to be deflating if you're Mingus, because it looked like you had your best chance to score tonight. And then a fumble by the quarterback, and now an interception. Kingston Douthit picking off Bejarano.
Badgers have it 1st and 10 at their own 22.
By the way, 2nd interception this season for Douthit. Phillips in motion. 3:40 and counting to go in quarter number 4. And there goes the run, and that is number 33 for Prescott, Donnie Russo with the ball. So Coach Cody Collette sending in some of his 2nd stringers, Kelly.
And Russo's only a sophomore. Pickup of, we're going to say a pickup of 1, 2nd down and 9. Badgers have it at their own 23.
And that's Russo with the ball again. This time the Marauders were ready for him.
Loss of a yard is going to bring up 3rd and 10.
Looks like Nicholas Brewer, one of the guys in on the tackle there on Russo. And the clock continues to wind down. 2:45 left to go. By the way, you're listening to Prescott Football here on the news, 1490 AM, 103.5 FM, KYCA, Prescott, Arizona, USA, where the time is 9 o'clock. 48 zip the score. Badgers on top as they will improve to 3-2 on the season as they get ready to make the long trip to Bullhead City next week. There's the handoff. Run going up the middle. Looks like that's Russo again with the ball. He gets up to the 25-yard line before he is stopped again. Nicholas Brewer leading the Marauder charge on Russo.
Pickup of 4. It's going to bring up 4th and 6. Ball sitting at the Badger 26-yard line, and the Badgers are going to punt the ball away.
1:55 left to go in regulation.
And once it hits a minute, John, it is a stop-and-go clock at that point for the last minute.
Now we'll see how much stopping and going we'll have in that last minute. And there's the punt by Costas. And it's picked up, then dropped, then picked up again by Andre Joy. And Joy gets stopped at about the 42-yard line.
So that's where the Marauders will have it. Looks like they're going to spot the ball on the Marauder 43-yard line.
And the Marauders, they have definitely been struggling offensively in their last 4 games, including tonight. Mingus has scored a grand total of 12 points. They had 6 against Estrella Foothills, 6 against Yonkers, none against Bradshaw Mountain last week. And now they're on the verge of being shut out for the 2nd week in a row.
Yeah, you kind of feel for those Marauder players, John.
Bejarano hurling it downfield, and we got a flag on the play. And 2-on-1 coverage there on Sosa.
Got to hold. One of the wide receivers was being held by a Badger. Well, it's going to be a penalty against the Badgers.
And we're coming down to the final 59 seconds of tonight's game.
10-yard penalty from the original line of scrimmage. So the Marauders have it at the Badger 47-yard line, 1st and 10.
Again, Prescott will be at Mojave next week. Mingus, they will host Coconino next week. Bejarano with the throw, and, catching it was number 19, Remington Stokes, but he caught it out of bounds, and he and Kenny Miller-Terry exchanged some words. Kind words. They weren't chirping at one another, and KMT kind of pats Remington Stokes on the helmet. Stokes turns around. I could even see a grin under his helmet there. He said a couple things to KMT. Again, it was good sportsmanship and just some kind of joshing around between 2 very good athletes there.
Going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Again, the ball at the Badger 47-yard line.
This ought to be the last play of the game here with the clock coming down to 10 seconds. I would imagine Mingus is going to try to go deep and hope for the best. No, it's going to be a pitch out to number 10, Rice. Rice heading up to the far side. The horn sounds. The tackle is made. And that is all she wrote for tonight's game. The final score from Bill Shepherd Field, Prescott 48 and Mingus nothing. So let's take a break here on our broadcast of Badger football, and we'll be back to wrap things up here from Prescott High School right after this.
It's Badger time, folks. This is Steve Blair, Prescott High School alumni. I'm passionate about Badger football and the love of this great community. I'm also passionate about my business, Blind Brothers of Arizona, the Originals. I truly love making homes more beautiful with the best shutters, shades, and blinds. We come to you with samples and do all the measuring and installation ourselves. We've been around for 40 years, and your satisfaction is always guaranteed. So call us today for a free estimate, 776-1845. Blind Brothers Arizona, the Originals, with Arizona in our name. Go Badgers!
And we are back here at Bill Shepherd Field, and Homecoming 2025 ends in a big Badger victory. It's 48-0, the final score over Mingus. And, Kelly, deja vu all over again, as Yogi Berra likes to say. We saw a similar kind of play 2 weeks ago here against Northwest Christian, and tonight the Badgers had it going on the ground. Great blocking by the offensive line, and as usual, great running by Jacob Chamberlain and Braylon Johnson.
Well, and it's nice to see the Badgers rebound, even though they lost to Lee Williams last week, there's still a lot to play for. And the Badgers just need to take one game at a time. Next week, Mojave, and just win each game week by week. And Badgers should make the playoffs. It's just a question of where the Badgers would be in the rankings. By the way, the PowerPoint rankings come out in mid-October.
Okay, well, of course, we will be watching for those, and we will have those on our KYCA Sports Reports when they do come out. Braylon Johnson, 3 touchdown runs tonight. Jacob Chamberlain with 2 touchdown runs. Kenny Miller-Terria, touchdown, fumble recovery, I guess you could say, in the end zone. Also, he caught a 23-yard touchdown pass from James Heffron. And we also had interceptions by Trace Overton and Kingston Douthit. Now, again, folks, we will be on the road next week. We got another long trip to make. We're going to be in Bullhead City, and we're going to be at the Anderson Fieldhouse as Prescott takes on Mojave, who are actually playing Bradshaw Mountain right now. So tune in to KYCA next week as we will be over in Bullhead City for Prescott versus Mojave. All right, well, that'll do it for our broadcast here tonight. Homecoming 2025 in the books, and it's a Badger victory for that. So, for Scott Harker back in the KYCA studios, for Andrew Zinzaletta, Jason Zinzaletta, my partners Kelly Cordes and Lou Benetone, I'm John Rust saying, have yourselves